Hey there, YouTube. Another Taurus High Point production coming at you. Whoo! Black powder revolvers, black powder paper cartridges, black powder revolver safety while at the shooting line. It kind of all ties in together. The gentleman out here who's kind of disgruntled with paper cartridges, and that's his opinion. And yes, he's entitled to it. I'm going to leave him there with it. There's nothing I can do. But what I'm going to do is explain how I was taught to shoot black powder. Now bear in mind, this is a Pieta cap and ball 1851 Navy. I make paper cartridges for it. I make paper cartridges for my 44, and I have no issues with them. But, you know, this other guy, he says the bits of paper, they get stuck and they cause, where the cap go ignite, and it don't ignite in here because they're too much paper. Well, yes. He right, here. No. What do you mean not right? Let me explain. Let me roll up my sleeves and explain. Okay. Eons ago, you know, before we got this new charter crew in that I don't quite understand, when I was taught black powder, after I ran a cylinder or two, I was instructed to pull it apart as it sits now. Swab my barrel. As I'm swabbing my barrel, I'm looking at my forcing cone. I'm looking for bits of lead, dings, clobs of globulant, lead, powder. Things that might tell me that there is something wrong with the timing. Then I was told to swab the cylinder as well. Just mop, maybe a little solvent, or basically I just do it dry with a brush and a patch wrapped around the brush. I just go around all six, clean it out, reassemble, reload, reshoot. Then we take it apart like this again and swab everything. And that is because at that time we knew Pieta, Umberti, ASM, ASP, Army San Paulo. ASM is Army San Marco, and the like. Their quality control was non-existent. And as this gentleman complains about the paper that gets caught in each chamber, he's absolutely right. But then negating one of the first rules of black powder safety I was taught, which was to dismantle and at least swab at a minimum every second shot. So that would be 12 rounds. It would be 2 shots per cylinder or per chamber. And then I would swab, and that would pull out the paper, and it still does today, and I have no issue with it. Now, I can understand if you're competition, speed shooting, or something like this, or that would be a hindrance. Well, it's no more a hindrance of dropping a paper cartridge than it is loading each major component. You're still losing that time. That's why it doesn't make sense for anybody not to, after 12 rounds, pull it apart. Okay? Take a look at your forcing cone. See if there's any timing issues going on. Take a look at your cylinder. See if there's anything going on with it funky and cracks in the cylinder wall, lead where it shouldn't be. Things of that nature. Take a look through the nipples and see if you can see daylight. Okay, if you can't, you run a nipple pick. I mean, this was all black powder safety as it was taught to me when I first got into black powder. It wasn't something that was discussed, or it was a could be. With my teacher, my educator, you either did this or you got your head peeled. Because the pain I'm causing you now by smacking you in the head for not following black powder safety protocol is going to be a lot less painful on you than, say, losing a hand or an eye or injuring the guy next to you because of your negligence. These are the reasons I was taught to pull these things apart when I was at the range and at least swab them out. You don't have to do a complete scrub with your degreaser and all your oils that you use on this stuff and your ballast. You take it apart, you run a mop, and you put it back together and you're ready to go again. That's why when it comes to paper cartridges, I have no issues. This has been a Taurus High Point production. I don't know if it's supposed to be educational or informative, but remember, you choose, therefore you are responsible.